a collection of killers.
Welcome to magAMedia Podcast. I am at Lazy Meatball, aka Melissa. I'm here with Rob Harper and Dov Hikind. Got a great set of guests today. Dov is a former New York State Assemblyman, and he's a founder of Americans Against Anti-Semitism. Rob J. Harper was a reporter for several news outlets, very seasoned journalist, and welcome, you guys.
Glad to be here. Glad to be there, too.
Glad to be here. All right, so we have something to say about the recent comments that Rashida Tlaib made regarding Israel. She said, Israel exists to the detriment of Palestinians. This is her little speech here she made at a press conference. We're going to play that real quick.
So you talk about the hate agenda, and you have heard there have been criticisms of you from even your fellow Democrats,
especially for your support for the BDS movement, which stands for Boycott, Divest, Sanction. It's an anti-Israel movement.
It's criticizing the racist policies of Israel, and it's a boycott, right? I mean, I think folks don't know when you say BDS, especially in.
Okay, so let's just stop that right there. Do you know about the BDS movement? What do you think about that?
Well, the BDS movement, there are close to 200 nations in this world. And you have countries like China, which literally has imprisoned, put into concentration camps, over 1 million Muslims. You have countries throughout the world who clearly violate the civil rights and the human rights of their citizens. I mean, we can talk about country after country in different parts of the world. But there's only one BDS movement. Can you imagine that? Everyone else, it's fine. But one country, where there are 6.5 million Jews, surrounded by enemies on all sides. In the north, Hezbollah, with 150,000 missiles aimed at the people of Israel. In the south, you have Hamas. Just recently, they fired 650 missiles towards civilian population in the state of Israel. And you have Iran, and you have other people in the Middle East who are not very friendly to the state of Israel. So the one country in the world, the home of the Jewish people, this is the country that is targeted by these anti-Semites. No other BDS. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Why don't they have a BDS movement for China? Why don't they have a BDS movement for Russia with all the violations of human rights that are going on there? And so many other countries. One single country that literally fights for its survival. I mean, it's very, very real. I go to Israel often. I love being there. I mean, I have had the experience of dodging missiles in places like Sderot in the south. Literally dodging missiles, having to run for cover, with the siren going off. And, I mean, we're talking about civilian population. So you have a BDS movement to boycott, divest, it's just insane. And in this case, I agree with the Speaker of the Congress, Nancy Pelosi, who said very clearly, only in the last 2 weeks, she said, to support BDS is to be an anti-Semite.
That's right.
Now, maybe she could have a conversation with some of her Democratic colleagues and say, you guys are anti-Semites.
Is it, I mean, because we all know a little bit about Muslim and Islam, their practices and their beliefs. And do you think it's partly that she doesn't even realize that she's being anti-Semitic because it's so just ingrained in her belief system?
Look, there are two things. There are the people who are bad people, who indulge in, the Benjamins and do loyalty as, members of Congress have done. We've never seen anything like this, by the way. Never, ever. You have members of Congress indulging in vile anti-Semitism. That's one thing, okay? And you have people like AOC who uses the word concentration camp and never again,
right.
In reference to, illegal immigrants coming into this country. I mean, my God, how ignorant ignorant can you be? How can you not understand that the concentration camps, when I think about concentration camps, I think of where my mother went in 1944. She lived in Czechoslovakia, and one day, everybody was rounded up. Everyone, because you were a Jew, you were put on cattle cars and sent to Auschwitz. My mother came to Auschwitz in 1944. Her mother, other members of her family went straight to the gas chambers. Concentration camps, and never again, is about people being murdered, being worked to death, starving to death, being experimented on. That's what a concentration camp is.
Right.
And you have people like Ocasio-Cortez doubling down after she said what she said. Just pure, unadulterated ignorance. So, you have the AOCs and Tlaib and Omar and others. That's one thing. The real tragedy is that good people, members of the Democratic Party, don't speak out. I don't think we've heard one word of the 20-plus candidates running for the President of the United States. I don't think one of them has addressed the anti-Semitism and the hate that's going on in their own freaking party.
Now, what do you think there is this hesitancy, or no hesitancy at all, to speak out against these clearly radical for women?
I think it has a lot to do, and it's sad because, anti-Semitism, racism, there was one standard. There used to be one standard. You condemn it, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. We know what hate is, and you stand up to it, and you fight it, and so on. You don't look at, is it a Democrat? Is it a Republican? Is it, and then decide whether you're going to speak out. That used to be the case. That has changed, and I think part of it, it's hard to really understand. But I think part of it is the takeover of the progressives, liberal progressives, who have taken over the Democratic Party, literally, with positions that are so radical, so incredibly radical. They control the sort of the vision of the Democratic Party and where the Democratic Party is and where it's going, even though it is clear from polls that have been taken that doesn't represent the positions of these radicals, doesn't represent what the majority of the Democratic Party is all about. The New York Times just had an article about a week ago where they talked about 3 parts of the Democratic Party. And it talked about many parts of the Democratic Party, including blacks in this country, who don't have the same position as the radicals do on immigration, and don't have the same position with regard to Medicare for everybody. So
why isn't their voice being heard?
Because the people that are making the most noise, on social media and so on, and look, the press, the liberal press, plays such an incredible role in this. They dictate, the theme and what is being reported, and it's really out of control. It truly is. You have anti-Semitism in this country, in this amazing country. The greatest country on the face of the earth is the United States. No question. Perfect? Nobody's perfect. No country's perfect. No person is perfect. Come on. But this country is the greatest country. I don't know any other country where everybody wants to get into. This country, everybody wants to get into. I wonder why, right? These radicals, you would think that this country is the greatest dictatorship, that they torture people all the time, but everybody wants to come here. Everybody, right? It's incredible. But unfortunately, the noise is being made by the radicals, progressives. The politically correct situation that is going. You got to be careful anything you say, because there are people who are going
going to play that clip here real quick with AOC. When I first heard this, I mean, I know she's dumb as rocks, but I didn't know she was this dumb.
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border, and that is exactly what they are. They are